貴様の拳などかほどにも効かんわい。お前はもう死んでいる。何？もうは匠できれぶ。
So before this happened, I don't think people knew that the Oscars still exist. And about Will Smith, I didn't know anything. I just knew that his wife cheated on him and that he doesn't make good movies anymore. Well, he never made good movies, he just acts. And even acting, it's kind of a stretch because he plays himself in every movie. And it doesn't matter if it's him or somebody else. Because by now we should know that the Oscars and the Grammys and the whatevers are just shows that promotes their movies. So long story short, Chris Rock made a joke and he got slapped. The joke was that Jada is G.I. Joe. And Jada is Will Smith's wife. G.I. Joe apparently is bald, at least in the movies. And Jada is also bald, because she has alopecia, a condition that makes your hair fall. So yeah, that was the joke, nothing special. He could have been more extreme, saying something about her cheating, about Will Smith being a pussy. There's a lot more jokes that can be said that's funnier for us and more offensive for them. And even Will Smith laughed at first.
Alright.
But guess what? A few seconds later, he slaps Chris Rock.
Absolutely.
So when Chris Rock made fun of other people, it was okay. And I think it was okay even if it was a joke aimed at Will Smith. But Jada? Seriously now, she did a lot of shitty stuff. You should watch their interviews, they are very shitty. She is always trying to blame Will Smith for everything, and he just stays there and takes it like a little bitch.
I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely. I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken.
She even says in an interview that he needs to know what she's thinking and he needs to act and she needs to make her happy. But a few minutes later in the same interview, she says that she doesn't know what she wants. And so on. She acts like she's crazy. And I'm sorry, but it's hard for me to care for Will Smith when, he prefers to stay in a toxic relationship. He has money for a psychologist. He has friends. Even friends that he slaps. But instead of trying to improve, to start a new life, he chooses to be a pathetic human. Especially when he starts screaming, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. But you can surely put a dick in it. Haha. I mean, in her. Haha." And apparently we already have somebody from the famous people saying something. Well, famous is a very huge word for her because I don't think he will ever know what fame is. Tiffany Haddish. And yeah, if you didn't heard about her, that's because she's a stand-up comedian. And guess why you didn't heard about her? I'll give you a clue. She defended Will Smith. So, a comedian who defended Will Smith. So I guess she's okay with people coming to her stage and slapping her if they didn't like a joke. I mean, I would understand if Will Smith did that and he just said, "Shut the fuck up, don't make a joke about my wife." But he insisted on going on the stage and showing everybody how pathetic he is. Now let's see what this American stand-up comedian had to say.
When I saw a black man stand up for his wife, that means so much to me.
He just slapped the guy because his wife didn't like the joke. She wasn't attacked by anybody and it wasn't even an offensive joke. She doesn't have cancer, and also Will Smith could have just said that it's not okay, dude. It's not like Chris Rock wanted to be mean. He just wanted to make a joke.
As a woman who has been unprotected, for someone to say like, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth, leave my wife alone." That's what your husband is supposed to do, right? Protect you. And that meant the world to me. And maybe the world might not like how it went down, but for me it was the most beautiful thing I ever seen because it made me believe that there are still men out there that love and care about their woman, their wives.
Well, first of all, of course you say as a woman, because you don't and you will never identify yourself as a comedian. Because if you were a comedian, you would understand that some jokes need to be offensive. And again, by your logic, if somebody's wife is offended by your comedy show, he can go on the stage and slap you. And no, clearly, that's not what a husband has to do. They could have laughed about it, they could have stayed home if they are so easily offended, or they could have talked with everybody and said, nobody makes fun of us, we cannot take a joke, we suck. Where we are, comedy must die. So please, no jokes because my wife's a bitch and she doesn't like comedy. Well, maybe when she laughs at other people, but never herself. And again, about Tiffany, saying that this is the most beautiful thing she ever saw? What the fuck is wrong with you? Having your man beat up other people because you are offended by a joke? That's your idea of beautiful and you call yourself a stand-up comic? Please find something else to do. I'm pretty sure you live in a very rich family and you have everything you want. Because there's no way somebody will want to come to your stupid ass show. Also go to a psychologist because that's not healthy. Wanting a relationship where your husband beats up everybody just because you are offended. Something's fucked up with you. Also, she says that she believes it made her believe that there are still men out there that love their wives or women. For real, you give us Will Smith as an example. The guy who was cheated on, the guy who is broken, the guy who has a very fucked up relationship. They both admit that their relationship is broken. I'm sorry, bad marriage for life.
Bad marriage for life.
Just because they are too stupid to get out of a toxic relationship or marriage, that doesn't make their marriage or relationship a good example. Tiffany also adds,
As a friend, why would you do that? He didn't even run the joke by her. But she was hurt. If she wouldn't have been hurt, he probably wouldn't have said nothing. But you could see that he was clearly, and they exploited it. They exploited her, so he protected his wife. To me, I went up to her and said, you better suck his dick from the back, girl. You better put that in your magazine. That's what I told her.
Yeah, she would probably do that after she does it to other guys first. You know, she needs to try it out to make sure she does a good job. Practice makes perfect. And saying, as a friend, why would you do that? Why? What did Chris Rock do? He told a joke, that's all. Yeah, whatever, she's a little sensitive about her hair. I'm 100% sure she said or did something that made other people feel very bad, very offended. But I guess nobody slapped her. And you know what? If you are offended, it's your problem. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would agree with Will Smith if Chris Rock attacked his wife, if he was really trying to be mean to her, if somebody said, dude, stop, it's not okay, and he continued, then I would understand. But it wasn't like that. He even laughed at first. And usually at this type of shows you see people that are attacked, that get jokes that are very offensive. But I didn't see anybody going on a stage to beat that person. And believe me, Chris Rock knows a lot of offensive jokes. And if he really wanted to do an offensive joke about Will Smith's wife, he surely could have done a lot worse. Because there's a lot that you can say about her. And okay, if we are at this subject, let me have a few questions. What if Will Smith was a white dude? Are you sure you will still defend Will Smith? You know, a white dude going on the stage and slapping a black man because he said something slightly offensive about her? Do you really believe nobody will react? Saying something, oh, these white dudes don't know how to take a joke. That white bitch needs to stop being so uptight. So we have so many years of slavery and we cannot even make a joke about you? Anyway, isn't it strange that they wanted more diversity at the Oscars? And now that they have more diversity, some black people started to fight each other on the stage? What's next year when they have even more diversity? They will start doing drugs and kill each other or steal stuff? And yeah, I'm making fun. It's a joke. But I guess it doesn't matter because, yeah. Apparently now people punch you in the face for something that's not even offensive. So you can even be killed by saying something that I just did. Anyway, I don't really care. Tiffany Haddish. So Tiffany Haddish, I think she should, okay, I don't know what to say. I wanted to say that she should stick to stand-up comedy, but apparently she doesn't know what that is because she's a stand-up comedian for a lot, I guess, because she was in Time magazine in 2018 and the Hollywood Reporter listed her among the 100 most powerful people in entertainment in both 2018 and 2019. So for somebody that important, it's strange that nobody heard of her. And nobody will. Well, unless it's something stupid like this, because you have to make fun of her. Oh, now I get it. She is the joke. She's playing as the joke. She's not trying to say jokes. Now it makes sense. Sorry, now I understand. Just like Chris Rock didn't actually make the joke about Jada, he just proved how much of a joke was Will Smith. And I think that's why Will Smith got the Oscar. Because he is the biggest joke of the year. So long story short, Will Smith is in a very toxic relationship. Marriage. Okay, I'm sorry again. Open marriage. I'm sorry again. Didn't black people need to stick together, to help each other, to not put each other down? Apparently there's a limit to that when jokes are made. But for real, isn't a little sad that this is the best entertainment that we get? I mean, we don't see comedy anymore. I mean, good comedy movies, good comedy TV shows. But instead, we get people that are jokes, walking jokes. We don't usually laugh at a comedy show, at a TV show, at a movie, and we don't even find them entertaining. At least not the ones that come from America. But instead, we ended up having comedy like this, when the person is the joke, but not because they want to. So it's never okay to try and be funny, because you can be slapped. You just need to be careful to not say anything that can be offensive. Until now, they wanted you banned, they wanted you to lose your job, they wanted to shame you, but now they started slapping you. Who knows, next year maybe people will die because of a joke. Maybe that's what happened to Epstein. I'm sorry, Hillary may find that offensive. I meant to say that's why he killed himself. I hope that's okay with the overlords. And I hope the worst punishment that I can get is you sending Will Smith to slap me. Because apparently he slaps like a little bitch, so I'm okay with that. So what more can I say about the incident? Nobody cares about the Oscars unless this happens. Will Smith's wife doesn't find anything funny, especially when it's made about her. And I think she's evil. Will Smith is in a very toxic relationship. Toxic marriage. He thinks that a lot of things are funny unless his wife tells him that it's not. He slaps like a little bitch and he's okay with everything as long as his wife is happy, including if she fucks with other guys. So if you're his friend, it's okay to fuck her, just don't make a joke about it. Also, Chris Rock acted like a professional. And I'm curious about two things. What if Amy Schumer did a joke? I know, funny, right? Amy Schumer doing a joke? Like that will ever happen. I think now I understand why they don't choose real comedians to do a TV show. Because this can happen, because people get offended. So you're safe with Amy Schumer. But what if she copy-paste a joke? Because most of the time she does that, especially when she says a joke that is kind of good. So my point is, will do the same thing. But what if somebody like The Rock tries to do comedy? What then? What I'm saying is that Will Smith had the balls to do it just because it was Chris Rock. And let's be real, anybody can slap Chris Rock. So in the end, Will Smith got an Oscar for Best Actor in King Richard, in the movie that he played the same actor as ever, the same person, himself. And of course they promoted that movie because it was about some black woman becoming a superstar, about the Williams sisters. And yeah, the movie, even the trailer, is very boring.
Watch him hit a few balls. All right. So tell me your names again.
I'm Venus. I'm Serena.
So what'd you think?
How do I know this? Because the movie is inspired by Dangal, an Indian movie. And I saw the trailer for that movie, and it's a lot more interesting because it has comedy, it has action.
देखो ना भाई साहब कितनी बुरी तरह से मारे हैं सुझा दिया है मार मार के
क्यों मारा? मैंने ना मारा था।
गित्ता बबिता ने मारा है।
शुरुआत इन्ना करी थी पापा मना कुतिया कह रहा था बबीता ना कमीनी हम ना भी दिए तो चाहिए
कि गोल्ड तो गोल्ड होता है छोरा लावे।
On the other hand, Will Smith is very tragic. Well, like Will Smith in real life. And fuck off if you tell me that Will Smith was the best actor. Fuck you. I know him since I was a kid. I saw him in every movie. He acts exactly the same. He talks the same, he says the same things, he has the same opinions in every fucking movie. It's never because he's a good actor, it's because he has a good script. The writers of those movies are the ones that are good. For example, Game of Thrones. No matter how good the actors were, and no matter how good the job that they did was, the writers did a horrible job, so yeah, the actors didn't matter anymore. So my point is that you can change the actors, you can find a lot of talent. Or you don't even need talent, you just need people who act exactly like the role that you want. But what's important is the writer. The writer is the one making the story. And we can see that in the Western movie industry. They are still trying to copy-paste the same IPs, but the original writer is probably dead or something like that. And now you see a story like Spider-Man or Batman or the Hulk, but the original writer doesn't write the story anymore. And you can see that because they are failing over and over. And even with this shitty movie called King Richard, you can really see that they didn't manage to make a great job. Because the movie that inspired them, named Dangal, did a far better job. And I'm saying this because America should have a huger budget. Also, Best Actor. Anyway, who even cares? Let the Oscars die already. Also, ignore the actors, they're not important, they can be replaced very easily. And they are saying that movies cost a lot of money. Yeah, sure, because you pay the actors a lot of money. They don't deserve it. Most of them are useless. Most of them can be replaced by somebody that can do a far better job with a smaller salary. Again, the writer is the most important person. The same stuff I see when people simp for the voice actors. Yeah, because the voice actors makes your favorite games, anime, cartoons. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're not important. I'm saying that they're not as important as a writer. I'm saying that the manga creator is more important than the voice actor. Same goes for the movie. The writer is more important than the actors. Look at Henry Cavill. I think he's a great actor. But let's be real, The Witcher sucks. They did a horrible job with the series. If you played the game or read the books, you would know how good the story can be. So don't give me that crap that the writer did a great job, because the movies suck. And no matter how good Henry Cavill is, the movie is still not good. Because an actor cannot make a good movie. And I'm not saying that an actor cannot do a bad job and destroy a good movie that has a good script, but I'm saying that it's less likely. And I want to finish with this. You can play Will Smith's wife all you want. But I think we all passed a long time ago the limit when you can say, well, it's not his fault, his wife is very toxic, very evil. Well, it's not like it's impossible for him to leave. So at this point, he's as toxic as her. Because he wants to be in that toxic relationship. and he is free to do whatever he wants, but he should also know that other people are free to do jokes.
In the last post, we were talking about self-discipline. So I wanted to go into that a little farther. I believe that self-discipline is the definition of self-love. That when you say that you love yourself, that means that you have behavior towards yourself that is loving.
Okay.